Yo, boy, this is Jay from Straight Smoke Gaming, and in today's video, we have a Jamar Chase sim, career sim, yeah. We did a Mac Jones one. That'll be linked down in the description, so make sure to check that out. Yeah, these sims, I think they're pretty interesting. We're going to be taking a look at all their stats throughout the years, all their playoff accomplishments and everything. So yeah, make sure to look down in the description if that one would interest you, the Mac Jones. Let's get into the Jamar Chase. So as you know, for year one, he had 81 catches, 1,455 yards, 13 touchdowns. He made the playoffs, made the Super Bowl, and he started out as an 86 with an X factor. So, I mean, those are pretty good stats year one, and it's nice to already have the X factor. So let's go ahead and see what the Bengals can do year two. Year two, it looks like they make playoffs as a 7 seed, but it looks like they end up losing in the divisional round to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's take a look at his stats. In year two, he puts up 80 catches, 1,070 yards, and only 5 touchdowns. So, I mean, you're in an offense with a lot of guys receiving-wise, so, I mean, maybe that's why the touchdowns aren't there, but I like the yards and I like the catches. So he ends up going up to a 90 overall in year two, and he also still does have his X factor, so that's nice. He's probably going to have that for a while. Year three, the Bengals make playoffs again as a 2 seed this time, so that's a lot better, but they end up losing in the divisional round to the Patriots this time. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats. Year three, the stats are kind of low. Only 62 catches, 819 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Pretty low stats. I'm not sure why. And here he gets a +4 overall jump, and he still has his X factor. So, I mean, overall, I'd say this is pretty good. This has been his really only down year so far. Year four, as you can see, I don't see the Bengals anywhere. So the Bengals missed playoffs, obviously. This is his first time missing playoffs in his entire career. And he ends up putting up 68 catches, 110 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Pretty solid stats. I mean, over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. The catches are a little bit low, so I mean, I would like to see that up, but he's in a big offense with a lot of guys. 95 overall, and still has his X factor. That's really good. It's nice to see that he's always moving up so far in overall every year. And then year 5, he misses playoffs once again, and I will tell you that in this sim, he does not miss playoffs much, so these are one of the rare times he does. He gets 71 catches, 928 yards, 4 touchdowns. These are low numbers. That might be the reason that they miss playoffs. And he jumps up 1 overall and still has his X factor. So, I mean, with him going up in overall, we'll see if he hits a 99. He might end up being the best receiver in the league. Here in year 6, they make the playoffs. They make it as a 3 seed, but they are a first-round exit to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, that sucks. Let's see his stats. This is one of his better years. 77 catches, 1,168 yards, and 9 touchdowns. 9 touchdowns, that's a lot. I wonder if he's going to get the Julio Jones treatment because of his size. He gets 99 overall this year, along with his X factor. Let's take a look at the year 7. They make the playoffs. They beat the Chiefs, but they end up losing in the divisional round to the Patriots. Jamar Chase in year 7, he puts up only 67 catches, 976 yards, and only 3 touchdowns. It does look like he missed the game too, but 99 overall and the X factor. He's been one of the best receivers in the league for a while now. Season 8. They make the playoffs as a 5 seed, and they go to the AFC Championship game but lose to the Raiders. So they were so close to the Super Bowl, but they missed it. And then year 8, he puts up 77 catches, 1,051 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Once again, he's still in a big offense, so they should be good for a while. Maybe that's why he's making a lot of playoffs. Still the 99 overall that he was, and still has his X factor. Yeah, no, he's listed as the second best receiver here for quite a while. Year 9, looks like they missed the playoffs. Let's go ahead and take a look at his stats and see if we can kind of pick apart why they missed it. It's only 70 catches, 1,022 yards, and 9 touchdowns. I'm not really sure what happened. Jamar Chase played a really good year, not one of his best, but the 9 touchdowns helps. And he had a 99 overall still, along with his X Factor. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what went wrong that season, because that looked like a pretty good season on paper. Year 10, they make the playoffs, but they are a first-round exit to the Denver Broncos. He puts up 86 catches, 1,110 yards, and 5 touchdowns. I mean, that's one of his better seasons, but he has not had... His rookie season does end up being his best season. So, yeah, there's that. But these, 1,000 yards are pretty good. 99 overall in X Factor. I say the 1,000-yard seasons are good because he does have a fair amount of seasons where he doesn't get 1,000 yards. In year 11, they make the playoffs. They end up as the first seed, but they end up losing their first matchup. And it looks like we do have a new expansion team in year 11. Not sure who that team is or what they used to be, but it looks like we got a new team. So year 11, he ends up putting up 60 catches, 826 yards, and 6 touchdowns. It does look like he missed 2 games due to injury, so that might affect his low numbers for stats. But this is a pretty average season, I'd say. I could see someone in an offense like his putting up those numbers every year. And this is where we start to see the first overall decline. He ends up going down to a 98 from his 99, but he still does have his X Factor. So, I mean, he's still one of the best receivers in the league. There's no doubt about it. And next year, year 12, they end up missing the playoffs. I mean, he is getting up there in age, but let's go ahead and take a look at his stats here, see if we can try to see if he's part of the reason why they missed playoffs. Let's go ahead and take a look. 93 catches, 1,301 yards, and 9 touchdowns. Not really sure why. This is easily his second best season of his career, according to Madden, after his rookie season. So this is easily his second best season. Not really sure why they missed playoffs when he's putting up numbers like that. Let's go ahead and take a look at his overall. Looks like he drops 2 overalls. Still the X Factor. Still one of the best receivers in the league, obviously, by his overall. Year 13, let's go ahead and take a look. They end up making the playoffs and they end up going out in the divisional round. Looks like they're struggling to get back to the Super Bowl after they did it in his rookie year. He ends up putting up 66 catches, 877 yards, and 9 touchdowns. The 9 touchdowns are good. Only 877 yards, that's a little rough. And 66 catches, I mean, come on. But he ends up going down 2 overall, and he still has his X Factor. He's getting towards the older age here. He's 34, as you can see there. So, I mean, he might be coming to an end here. Let's go take a look. Next year, they made the playoffs, but they ended up being a first-round exit to their division rival, Pittsburgh Steelers. Looks like they only lost by 3. That's a heartbreaking loss. Let's go on to his stats. Puts up 73 catches, 961 yards, and 6 touchdowns. His stats might be better than last year. It depends if you value touchdowns over yards. I would say that's a better stat line than last year. And he ends up dropping from a 94 to an 85. That's the biggest drop we've seen in this entire sim. And year 14 ends up being his last year. He does not play another year. So let's go ahead and do the career recap. He ends up playing 14 years, all with the Cincinnati Bengals. He ends up getting 1,031 catches, 14,000 yards, 79 touchdowns, 10 playoff appearances, 1 Super Bowl appearance. I mean, you tell me if you think that's Hall of Fame career. We don't know if he gets a Super Bowl. We'll know here coming up in a week. So, I mean, pretty good stats. I'd say that justifies the first pick, or the first round pick that they used on him. If you enjoyed, please remember to like and sub as we cover more Madden, GTA, and Red Dead content. Make sure to look down in the description for the other sim that we did like this with Mac Jones. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.